Okay, magandang hapon po. Good afternoon. Welcome back to episode number 4, 2015 year na pinag-uusapan po natin. So, earlier video, napag-usapan po natin if you follow yung case ni Edelyn Carrion involving the 4 knights. So, ang nangyari is that Pete Amunpon expelled Carrion and Knight Rene. And then it turns out later on that hindi ulfan si Edelyn Carrion. So that was a maling desisyon na nagawa ni SMP. And it causes conflict or problema ni Jonathan kasi sabi niya mali yun. So had it went to a proper royal court investigation and everything, they could not have expelled Rene Carrion sa grounds na hindi naman pala ulfan si Edelyn Carrion. No? So it causes conflict with Jonathan versus Pete Amunpon. It also causes conflict between Lucy Malabanan came into the picture against Jonathan as well for the same case. And nakita po natin dito. So if you look at the history and review, where's that? This is our website, by the way. SMVsDonDonGomez, the neutrality group. And this is where we've dumped the recording of this video. You can download it here in our YouTube channel. This is where the PDF file that you can follow and everything. Okay, ito po yung history ng division. So makita natin ang timetable for this year, no? Earlier this year, Wife Melly and Jonathan versus Jonathan, SMP versus Jonathan and DonDonGomez regarding sa clemency letter. And of course, SM Pete versus SM Eric Sion this year as well. Dito po dinisisyonan yung expulsion decision at pababayaran yung pera. Nangyari din dito yung SUULLoveAffair Convention. And of course, andito po yung reunion ng mga founders. This is where they've decided to change the venue. They have that in mind, conceptualize. Jonathan versus papaimbestigahan ng Royal Courts, Jonathan, sa problema na about Edelyn Carrion case. And dito natin nakita si Lucy Malabanan versus Jonathan. So patuloy po natin. For same year, November 2015, this video is brought to you by Corona Extra. Hindi po siya, ito lang po yung Corona na maganda sa health, no? Okay. So as I've been saying earlier, magaling po si Brad Pitt sa organizational management. But hindi lang po kasi in an organization, hindi lang po organizational management ang titingnan mo when it comes to the decision making. Conflict management is very important and kasi it involves people. So pag hindi mo na maayos, handle ng maayos ang conflict management, it raises a lot of questions and doubts sa, what is this? Okay. So patuloy po tayo. Now, come November 2015, makikita nyo po dito sa screen is that walang umattend ng online meeting ni isang National Council officer. So, it's been 6 months at hindi pa nakapag-submit ng statement of receipts and disbursement. So, remember na during SUULLoveAffair Convention, nagka-idea si Pete, or I'm not sure, there was an idea saying na, wait lang, i-move kaya natin yung 13th National Convention sa CMU for the reason that they wanted to unite the founders. They wanted to unite the founders, no? So, i-move natin sa CMU. Then, sabi nila, wait lang, as a courtesy, kasi nga nagbid ang Davao region sa Catbalogan, sila po yung sinuportaan. So we will tell them, sasabihan ng National Council, gathering National Council, that we will give time to Davao region to comply with the requirements. So dito lang natin nalaman kung anong, ang sinabi kasi earlier that Davao region will have until July to respond. So ngayon nakikita natin na ang hinihingi pala is statement ng receipts and disbursement, no? Ang hinihingi ng National Council sa Davao region. During that time, it was SME yung representative ng Davao Region. So dinocument ni Emmy doon. Check my first video. Sinabi niya that I cannot decide it. We will meet with the stakeholder or Davao Region chapters and I will convey your suggestion na ilipat na lang sa CMU ang 13th National ConCon. Nag-affirm din si Royal Court that time, Royal Waga, that they have given ample time to Davao Region. So May, in-inform ang Davao Region, May, June, July, they have 3 months to comply. And ngayon, it's already November 9, 2015. Basahin natin ang sinabi ni Pete. Please be reminded of our Constitution and bylaws mandating that the National Council officers dapat may regular meeting tayo, shall be held quarterly as a need arise. Today, I have scheduled a teleconference via GoToMeeting. Unfortunately, it did not materialize, so hindi po nangyari. As not a single National Council officers participated other than the host, which is myself. You remember na ang GoToMeeting is sariling gastos po to ni Pita Mumumpun generously, no? So this is the only way that they can connect. Hindi lang po ito first time na nangyari na what you call this, hindi sila nag-materialize ang GoToMeeting. In fact, the very first video that I have in 2013, nangyari din to. So it speaks about during this time, 2015, come on, ang internet po natin hindi po ganon ka-established as America. So, it will take time, it will take effort, it will take money, it will take computer. Wala pa pong mga gadgets, laptops, cellphone, smart cellphone available during this time mostly. So, you have to go to the internet cafe. Wala pa masyadong connection sa bahay. Internet cafe meron, doon ka pupunta at magmi-meeting ka. So, it will take gastos sa mga National Council officers. So, during the time, sabi niya, unfortunately, it did not materialize. So siya lang mag-isa. Not only that I've wasted money for the teleconference subscription, I've also wasted time considering I have been awake at 4 a.m. Kasi yung time difference na ng American Philippines ay malayong agwat, no? So we have some business matter that need to be discussed, which was one of the main reason why such meeting was scheduled. It has been over 6 months kasi nga July yung deadline, di ba? Reason why such meeting was scheduled. It's been over 6 months that the last meeting, annual convention in Samal, and to date, the host chapter, speaking about Davao Region, has not been able to submit a statement of receipts and disbursements, which I've requested from Sis Emmy Castrodes. For what reason, we don't know, but he was saying that hindi po sila nakasubmit. Who was the chairperson of the event and was acknowledged to have it available by September. So during that time, chairperson was Ms. Emmy. She acknowledged that it will be available by that time, by July, yung hinihingi ng National Council. On the same note, I have been made aware that there is also an astounding amount that is owed to the vendor who provide the printing of t-shirt that were sold at the convention, which Sigma Upsilon Lambda is creditor. So may utang pa pala tayo doon sa pinagprintahan natin ng t-shirt. Hindi lang yon, sabi niya, who provided meron pa din tayong utang during the 2010. It's been constitutional convention sa La Mesa Dam. It's been 5 years already, may utang pa tayo doon sa concessionaire, no, na nagbigay sa atin ng meal sa La Mesa Dam. So ito po mga bagay na dapat pag-usapan natin urgently kasi November na. With the upcoming Constitutional Convention and Annual National Convention, we can no longer afford to make this happen for the third time around. It is extremely urgent that we, the National Council officers, come together to discuss this matter and other business. So it is very important. Pag-usapan natin to. I will reach out to every one of you. Ayusin na natin. Sarili natin muna. Okay. I will reach out to every one of you of you and provide a couple of optional dates for our next meeting, and we will require acknowledgement for your participation. Always remember na sinabi ni Jonathan, if there are important things na pag-usapan ng National Council, it should always be done to teleconference. Pero pag hindi naman masyadong important, you can just send email or offline message sa Facebook, no, or any channel. I recognize that we have a complete priorities. This is voluntary. However, we pledge ourselves that we took oath. It should be oath to fulfill our duties as a National Council officers. In unity we stand. That was the message of Pita Mumunpon, no? Ngayon, may nag-reply sa message ni Pete. Sabi ni Solihon Florence Crescencio Rain, Oys, ano to? Dami pa palang nabayaran ng di nababayaran ng suol. So, si Brad Bryle, Butch Serrano, I miss you Brad here sa UAE. I miss ko yung naglilitsyon tayo together. But I hope you're doing here, there in Davao, you and your family stay safe. Sabi ni Brad Bryle, no? Regards na lang ko aning na issue. So, sabi niya, parang involved siya dito, no? So, sabi ni Sis Rain, asa dihang apart, Brad Bryle, kanang printing, Sis Rain, karong January, mo resign ako, ani ng kumpanya, unta, masettle na. So, si Brad Bryle pala, nagtatrabaho sa printing press na doon tayo nag-print ng t-shirt at hindi pa nababayaran. No? So, parang mahihiya ka if you are working on the company at parang ikaw pa yung nag-endorse or nagbigay ng client, tapos parang, hindi nabayaran. May good Samaritan po tayo na Brad, si Brad June Casinio. Sabi ni Brad June Casinio, Brad Bryle, PM mo bro, magkano kulang natin, baka makatulong ako. So napaka-generous to si Brad June Casinio, no? Sabi ni Brad Bryle, okay Brad, salamat. So sa message din yon, makikita natin, PM me Brad Pitt amumunpon or any Brad and sis, how much is the unpaid amount of the t-shirt souvenir used during the Samal Annual National Convention? Maybe I can help. So 10,000 po yung hindi nabayaran, and thank you for your generosity. If I am not mistaken, it was Brad June Casinio of Davao City ang nagbayad ng balance natin na 10,000. So, okay, dito tayo. Okay. Brad, 10,000. So, buti na lang, masyadong generous si Brad June Casinio at sinalo niya ang payment na 10,000. Napakaganda. So, I'm scrolling to the right and makikita natin dito. So, in short, nagkaroon sila ng meeting, nag-reschedule sila at nag-meeting sila ulit. So, ang nangyari ngayon, Resolution number 4, 2015, SUUL National Council, using the old SEC, kung titingnan nyo, yung SEC na to is 6628. This is the original SEC sa 2007. Preamble, Section 1, Annual Convention. There shall be annual convention. Nasa Constitution and Bylaws po natin. If you are not familiar with our CBL, you can go to members section sa website po natin, but you have to log in and sign in. Once nakalog in ka, makikita po nyo doon ang Constitution and Bylaws natin. So, sabi dito, the Constitutional Convention and Annual Convention date, there shall be annual convention which date and venue to be determined by the National Council. Section 1. Section 2, Constitutional Convention, there shall be Constitutional Convention dapat 3 years ang konkon natin. Tapos, whereas, during the last Constitutional Convention held in Catbalogan City, Samar, on May 24, 25, 2013, Davao City was informally designated to host the 2016 Constitutional Convention. Now, this is a subject of debate. Was there really a formal bidding happen or sinabi kasi dito informally? Pero kung sasabihin mo po, kung titingnan mo po during our last episode, sinabi ni Ruel Waga that Davao City bid for the 13 Concon and it was acknowledged, supported by the general public. Pero ngayon, sinabi sa resolution now that during the last Constitutional Convention held in Catbalogan City, Samar, on May 24, Davao City was informally designated. So it was informally designated. Teka lang, di ba dapat, I'm not sure, wala ako doon sa Catbalogan during the convention, but in very important event na moment na kailangan nating mag-choose ng next convention, bakit hindi pinadaan sa formal? So but anyway, I'm not sure bakit sinabi niya informally. It was a subject of debate kasi sinabi nga hindi daw formally na-acknowledge yun. But this was again supported by Brad Pitt, and it is him who announced that it will be on. But sinabi niya dito ngayon, informally designated to host the 2016 Constitutional Convention. Whereas, during the second annual convention held in Samal, Davao Oriental, I'm reading the right part, May 1 to 3, 2015, the National Council have asked the proposed convention host to formally submit a letter of intent. So discuss po natin yan last time. Ni-require sila mag-submit ng letter of intent to host the event in 2016, and that they were given until end of July of 2015 to comply by end of July. So yung requirements pala na pinag-usapan nila doon sa Samal is that required sila na mag-submit ng letter of intent to host the event in 2016, and dapat sa July yon. So, dito natin makita, iba pala yung requirements na sinasabi ni Pete na mag-submit ng ano ba yung ipapasubmit? Receipts and disbursement. Receipt and let me just review it. Pinapasubmit niya dito na it's been over 6 months, hindi pa sila nakasubmit ng mga resibo. Ito, see? Not been able to submit a statement of receipts and disbursements. So, tatlo na yung hindi na-submit nila ngayon. Receipts, mga statement of disbursement, at saka itong letter na hinihingi. I'm reading this part, if you can follow me on the screen. Whereas during the second annual National Convention held in Samal, Davao Oriental on May 1 to 3, the National Council have asked the proposed convention host to formally, so hiningi pala ng National Council na mag-submit kayo formally ng letter of intent to host the event in 2016, and that they were given until end of July 2015 to comply. So sinabi dito, whereas, but my question is earlier before, ito ba talaga yung process before? In 2010 SM, 2007 convention, was there really a formal process na ginagawa like this to submit a formal letter and all these things na mga ano? So, or is this only a process na in-implement during the time ni Pete? Either way, ni-recommend sila, they are given the time to do so. Ngayon, patuloy po nating basahin. Whereas, to this date, the proposed event host has not communicated to the National Council indicating their intent to formally host the upcoming Constitutional Convention in 2016. So walang formal letter indicating their intention to host the upcoming convention. That was the point of SMP dito. Whereas, the second annual convention was hosted by the same group, which is the Davao Region, Chapter Region 11, spearheaded by the same individuals who will also be involved in the hosting of 2016 convention. Whereas the host of the second annual convention was requested to furnish the National Council. Hiningin sila ng financial statement of receipts and disbursement, right? Of the last convention and acknowledged. Ibig sabihin, nung May, hiningan sila nung May about the financial statement of receipts and disbursement of the last convention ng May, and acknowledged to comply by the month of September to this date. So, hiningan sila ng statement of receipt and disbursement, hiningan din sila ng letter na sila ang mag-formally host ng 13th National Concon. Aside from the fact that they got the bidding, whether formally or informally, but the crowd supported Davao Region, and everyone also expects that it's their Davao Region already. So whereas it was brought to the attention of the Supreme Minister that there is an ongoing issue that the host chapters are facing involving financial matter. So sabi, it got to my attention na may mga financial problem ang hosting region, ang Davao Region, leading the organization to face financial liability. He was referring to yung t-shirt na may 10,000 pa na kulang. Now, therefore, be it resolved, as it is resolved, that the National Council to finally change the venue and the date of the upcoming convention. Wherefore, be it resolved further that the upcoming Constitutional Convention be held at the Mother Chapter, Alpha Chapter, with the date is still be determined by the National Council. Wherefore, so dito na sila nag-decide, no, during their meeting, wherefore, be it resolved finally that this approved resolution be disseminated to all members concerned, approved and accepted by the National Council officers present during the quarterly GoToMeeting dated November 15 of 2015. So, dito na po nag-decide ang National Council to November 15, 2015, no? To change the venue sa, what do you call this, from Davao region to Central Mindanao University because of the following reasons. Number one, hindi daw nag-send ng letter of intent to host the chapter. My question earlier was that ito ba talaga yung proseso since 2007 and 2010 CONCON na kailangan ng host chapter or whoever is the next host na mag-submit ng letter? That was the first question kasi then later on, hiningan din sila ng statement, financial statement and disbursement receipts. Hindi din po nila nasubmit sa National Council. So, ito pong tatlong factors ang binasihan ng National Council spearheaded by Supreme Minister na i-change ang venue from Davao to National Council. So later on, may mga pag-usapan po nating issues. Marami po. There was a question whether meron bang quorum na nangyari during the meeting. How many people are involved to decide on the matter of changing the constitution, the what you call this? The venue. May mga issues na hindi, the National Council is not allowed to change because it was already mandated na ang General Assembly sa Catbalogan already supported the Davao. Bakit it's a change ng National Council and for what reason? So, dito po, pag-usapan po natin yan in the coming videos. Andun natin makikita ano bang ginawa ni Pete na suporta. Bakit umabot pa sa November na mag-decide siya. And during, tama nga naman, during July, may follow-up pa nangyari. Ginaidan ba niya yung Davao region to comply and all these things? Was there? We don't know the extent of their communication, but this is what's only revealed sa atin. So, if you look at the big issue, no? In-announce na, change of venue as decided, November 11 yun, November 15. Now, pinost na niya dito. So, please be informed that the National Council officers met last night, November 15, 2015. One of the topics for discussion was the upcoming annual National Convention and Constitutional Convention. A change of venue has been proposed due to a number of reasons known and identified. Discussion took place among the members present. So, sinong present doon? Andun din Supreme Minister Ray Abing. Andun si Jonathan, Keeper of the Scroll. Andun si Lito, the Chronicler. Andun si Royal Waga, Royal Court member. Andun si Cesar Bordios, Royal Court member. And the resolution to change the venue. So ilan lang sila? Pete Amumunpon, Ray Abing, 2, Jonathan, 3, Lito, 4, Waga, 5, Royal Court, Cesar Bordios, 6. 6 sila. And a resolution to change the 6 sila against all the officers sa National Council. No? So this is the question kung was there a quorum na nangyari. So ang sinasabi ko lang, ilang percentage ba dapat ang sasabihan natin na naging quorum so that we can make decisions. So sinabi dapat 50 plus 1. But anyway, that was for the later discussion. But ang content po dito ng resolution for 2015, ito po yung binasa ko kanina. Nag-comment sila, ano ba mga comment dito? Robert Fortines, Impas ang taga Davao, Pakyas. Sunito Gesta, sayang ang mga meeting, Brad. Sa pagkakaalam ko, Brad, may mga pledges na para sa convention. Nagkahirap-hirap kami minsan sa anniversary sa Davao. Just one sec. Maalala ko, sina Brad Tuping, Brad Flor Bondok, Brad Nasser, Brad Roger Cañete, may taga-Mati pa at ako na nag-save ng 10,000. Joke. Okay, Robert Antonio, wala naman lang ng comment ng issue, bro. Wala lang, nag-comment lang ng issue. Smile na lang taani. Brad Sunito, nakasave jud ka. Lucy Malabanan, Brad Ifrahim, Zarate, Asenas. It was given to them, but due to the variation of reasons, which is I agree, nabalhin sa Alpha, hope I am right, sabi ni Lucy. So, Sunito Gista, sa left, I'm reading, Brad Ephraim Zarate Asenas. Right bro, if Davao won the bidding in Tacloban, it should be considered and they are the rightful host of the event. Huwag na lang matuloy pa ang mga pledges namin. Robert, hahaha. Sabi ni Robert, here's Brad Ruel Valdueza's point of view. Brad, medyo may misunderstanding siguro dito sa issue. Annual convention sponsored by Davao chapter itself, so sila siguro ang may sala sa issue this coming 2016 convention. The regional chairman created a unified chapter within the region as per agreed in our meeting and decided to use Davao City as a host area. Siguradong walang liability sa nakaraang mga issue, kaya nakadismaya ang mga desisyon ng national. Unified chapters, the said meeting, Digo Santa Cruz, Tagum, Panabo, blah blah blah. Angeles Batuto, Brad Robert, Presidente Gusta, peace. Okay. Ngayon, nag-comment si Lucy. Sinabi ni Lucy dito na bigo silang mag-host uli. Sort out muna nila yung mga atraso during the CONCON. Gaya ng t-shirt na hindi nabayaran. Hindi lang nila problema yon, kundi apektado ang lahat. Valdiwelza, Lior. Sis, para sa akin, dapat siguro singilin ninyo ang Davao chapter kasi sila ang nag-host sa annual convention. Para sa akin, magkaiba ang event sa National CONCON. Kasi nga, di ba, Davao region, so maraming chapters yan. Ang nangyari, ang fault ng Davao chapter itself, nadama yung ibang Davao region na willing talaga mag-host sa regional convention. So, sa 13th na CONCON. Kaya nag-create dito ng regional chairman ng unified chapter ng buong Davao willing to support the said event and decided Davao as the host venue instead of Tagum or Mati, Davao. So di ba earlier nagbid ang Mati, nagbid ang Tagum, pero ang lumabas na nanalo is the Davao City, as discussed in the meeting, represented with different chapters. So bakit nadamay ang buong Davao region sa so tingnan natin. Gusto kong mag-comment, yung comment na walang pinapanigan, yung comment na kung ano talagang totoo scenario dito sa Davao. Okay, I think I pasted the... So anong comment nga? It's not about the money, it's more on the attitude on handling an organization, sabi ni Rain. Local funds or national funds still one SUUL activity and SUUL had only one CBL. Any local chapter problems are also a national problem. That's my opinion. This is how I understand the CBL. So nag-comment si Brad Pitt dito, sabi, until end of July, sis Rain. July pala Brad, thank you for the correction. So balikan natin yung mga comments sa taas. Makita natin dito, Brad Ephraim. So again, ito si Brad June, out of disappointment, no? Tinawag niyang tambaluslos. It's a harsh word, si SM Pete. Brad, kindly delete the message, hindi respectful and all this thing. What's wrong with trying to tell him? Brad Abel. Maski di niya naintindihan niya dapat mag-respect. So, agree, sis Lucy saying. So again, Brad Valdeoza, Lior, sis, ang word lang ang immature, hindi yung nagsasalita, masyado lang nadismaya. Was saying na nadismaya lang si Brad, no? Nagsabing tambalusos SM. I'm not defending Alan Pan, pero alam ko kasi if gaano siya ka-active sa atong grupo. I myself not satisfied sa decision na ginawa ng NC, lalo nang nalaman ko ng ating SM ay nasa ibang bansa pa. Although, may alam siya how to handle sa group, pero parang wala tayong pagkakaiba sa komunista at bright leader nila. Nasa ibang bansa tayo din, nasa ibang bansa. So, he's referring to the Communist Party, si Joe Masison. And wala bang ibang maging leader na dito makitang na nagtanong lang po. So, even si Rain, I know Brad Ala, no? Si Brad Alan is the one who's, Brad Pan Ala, sinabing tambaluslos SM. He's a good man and active sa org, and I understand what he feels to. Tama, nadismaya lang siya. So, it was just an expression actually of dissatisfaction. Same as Rodrigo Duterte, when sinasabi niyang putang ina, it was, pardon for the word, but sinasabi niya that, sinasabi niya that it was a expression of dissatisfaction. It was not meant really to disrespect, no? So, copy Brad, and makikita mo dito sa convo nila. Davao chapter pa ba talaga ang sponsor sa annual convention? Parang ang gulo na yata. Nung nasa Katbalogan kami, hindi naman dumaan sa bidding ang pag-host ng CONCON. So again, Rain Soljon is saying a different statement than what Ruel Waga earlier said that nagbid naman ang Davao for the CONCON. Pero ang sinabi ni Florence Crescencio na parang hindi naman nagbid ata. It was the SM who chose Davao region. So she was saying that hindi naman nagbid. It was the Supreme Minister who chooses Davao region as the next host. Tapos sinuportaan na lang ng crowd. Hindi siya dumaan ng formal bidding. And I even asked him why particularly, and I even asked siya daw personally, inask niya si SM, Pete, kung where particular in Davao, kasi nga malaki yung Davao. And he said, Davao City. After Catbalogan, we had a regional meeting in Santa Cruz. So, SM lang daw yung nag-decide. Sinabi ni Rain. So, sabi niya dito, we elected officers in Santa Cruz, nag-come up na ng fundraising for 2016. What happened next? T-shirt, nasaan na? So, after pala sa Catbalogan, nag-start na sila ng fundraising. So, ngayon, sana yung t-shirt, hindi na makita. During Samal Convention ng Mati, SM told us if it's okay with us kung sa CMU. So, pati si Sis Rain, during the Mati Convention, nasabihan para na okay ba kung lipat sa CMU. For so many reasons. One is to reunite the founders. But Sis Emmy Alforque, who stood up as a chairman for that event, asked SM to give us time until September to let us inform the other members of SUUL in Region 11 now about the said changes. So sabi ni Valdueza, for clarification lang, sinong chairman elected at time noong nag-held ng election sa Santa Cruz? Then Sis Emmy, anong role niya sa pagiging chairwoman? Nag-reply si Sis Rain, Brad, naaraman ka sa Digos, no? Mas maayo siguro na kayo na lang po ni Brad Tuping, Taneo, Batulan, kayo yung mag-usap, at saka mga officials, kasi nasa Santa Cruz siya. So, sis, tanong lang, funded ba ng NC ang t-shirt? So, ito sa question, no? So, again, I'm reading the last comment dito na part. Magaganda itong mga comment na to. Tingnan natin. Let's check it out. Brad, medyo may misunderstanding. Yeah, that was it earlier. Robert Fortines, sabi niya dito, yan din antay ko, Brad Ruel, na mapaliwanag ng grupo kasi unfair din sa kanila. They already exerted effort, time, money in all their previous meetings. Baldueza, totoo yan, Brad. Marami kami sa meeting, baguhan sa CONCON. May isang municipal councilor attended in that meeting, kaya nakadismaya, decided without consultation. Pero okay lang, the label already bang. Good luck to the host chapter. Abel Villamor, Sis Rain, Resolution number 4, dated November 15, 2015, changing the venue to CMU as a host as a national convention, ug CONCON was already approved and disseminated. So, musugot ta og dili, na naman jud na. We are obliged to comply. Perhaps naanam sa balaod ang policies na walay gatuo, mura na og Mickey Mouse. So, if ever naaman ang resistance or claimer regarding anang resolution, ako dapat ang party concerned against anang approved resolution. Mag-file of petition direct to the NC for consideration. So this was the approved. Maganda yung suggestion niya na mag-file ng resolution. So if ever na may resistance or claimer sa decision ng National Council, approved resolution, mag-file ng petition against, mag-file ng petition, approved resolution, mag-file ng petition direct sa National Council at sa SM for consideration na sila may willingness to host. So sinasabi niya, okay, na decision, mag-file kayo ng petition, ipalaan nyo legally, formally. At man guro ang legal na pamaagi na ma-heard, yan po yung legal, dismaya na hantod noon karon. Makabuhi ta og words na dili maayo, paminawon, na makahatag og disunity among members. In regards po sa residence requirements sa SM, dili man guro issue na siya sa, reside siya sa America, no? Or responsibility as leader yung gamahanan active members. So, yan po yung proposal ni Abel na since nakapag-decide ng National Council, the legal way, remedy is to file a petition kayong Davao Region formally to the National Council na i-retain yung one. So, ang sinasabi din yung Davao na the fault of Davao na hindi sila nakapagsabit ng it shouldn't be taken to the entire Davao region kasi marami pa mga chapter na willing mag-host. Andyan pa yung Mate, andyan pa yung Santa Cruz. So, the Davao City, sila lang yun. So, see, the decision of the National Council, ando na sa mind nila during convention sa Samal, na i-change yung venue for the purpose of reuniting the founders. Itong mga non-compliance of walang letter of intention, hindi nakapag-submit ng statement of reimbursement and receipts, these are just underlying reasons kung bakit na gipatong or mas nagpabugat ba sa reason nga ibalhin ang National Convention from Davao to CMU. So aside from the fact, but andun na talaga sa idea, if this idea came from Pete Amumpon, andun na sa kanya na ilipat natin sa CMU kasi gusto niya, it was his willingness to reunite the founders sa CMU. So inapprove ng National Council during their meeting sa the suggestion during their meeting sa kinausap nila ang Davao Region in the person of Sis Emmy na mag-submit ng letter of intent na sila ang mag-host ngayong July. The deadline will be in July. Pero until then, in-acknowledge si Sis Emmy allegedly tapos hindi nakapag-comply. Aside from that, the SM came to know na may mga utang pa pala na hindi nababayaran and that marami ang, the problem went on. So, underlying reasons na lang yun. But the primary reason is that gustong i-reunite ang founder doon sa CMU. So ngayon, more comments. Sabi niya, yes Brad, I understand. Masakit man na di natuloy sa stranger in saying sa Davao, but it is what it is, so be it. But sabi ni Brad Abel, there is still time to act on it. They can submit a legal remedy petition to the National Council na i-retain ang Davao. Santi Purakan, unta makamove on na tangtanan, how I wish sa Davao ang konkon. Pero naka-decide na ang National Council, sundo na to ang decision sa leaders na to, whether we agree with it or not, para sa kalampusan sa organization, hangyo na ko nga suportahan na to ang konkon, bisag asa pa lang ang venue. So napakaganda, no? This is the reason why na-change ang venue from the Davao to CMU. So again, it started with Catbalogan, nagbid daw ang Davao formally or informally, sinabi hindi, it was just the decision of Pete Amumunpon na Davao, inask ni Rain, saan ba sa Davao? Basta sila lang bahala magano doon, basta Davao Region, kasi ang Davao Region maraming chapters eh. So after Catbalogan, nag-meeting ang Davao Region, within the Davao Region, nagbid ang Mati, nagbid ang Davao City, nagbid ang Santa Cruz, pero I think ang nanalo ang Davao City. So NatCon came, second NatCon came in Samal. Ang nangyari is that sinabi ng National Council yung plan na ilipat sana sa CMU. Kinausap si Sis Emmy, and si Sis Emmy naman sabi niya, I cannot decide for it. I will meet the rest of the organization or mga officer or chairman para i-convey ko yung idea yung ililipat. So ngayon, nag-antay ang National Council. Umabot ng July, hindi nakapag-submit ng letter of intention, although it's a question whether ito ba yung dapat na proseso. Is this a process na dapat sundin compared sa 2007 ang 2010 CONCON? Kung sinasabi ni Pete na ito dapat ang process, bakit din yung process ng pagbidding sa Catbalogan na hindi nasunod? If he is very concerned about the process, no? So dapat pa lang, kung proseso-wise ang gusto niya talaga, dapat nag-formal bidding sa Catbalogan para walang question. Tapos, ginaid dapat sana niya yung Davao that these are the things that you need to do kasi naging point of discussion yan that as a Supreme Minister, sinasabi din naman ng iba, come on, we are grown-ups already. You should be able to handle this already. Kung anong ni-require, i-comply nyo. So, ang nangyari kasi, hindi sila nakapag-comply. So, that's another issue or point of discussion, no? So, nakita natin dito how the change of ideas and change of decision came into place. So, next video episode, pag-uusapan po natin. There's one thing that I wanted to let you know or let you understand, no? Kasi in leadership style, iba-iba kasi yung leadership management ng mga tao. So may mga leader na dominant. They lead with directness. Leading style with strong and direct, no? Parang ganyan yung isang leader. Ito yung mga katangian or traits ng isang leader. Meron ding influencer na leader. They lead through inspiring others, ini-inspire nila. So the dominant is someone who's direct, strong, and authoritative style. Persons who invoke his authority, no? So meron ding influencer, he leads with inspiration. Leadership style is persuasive with enthusiasm, no? In-encourage na yung iba para mag-cooperate sa kanya. Meron ding isang leader na supportive. The leadership style ng supportive is that he lead with support. Leadership style is collaborative and supportive, so he designates or delegates tasks, then he keeps on supporting and doing a follow-up, and that's how he lead, no? Meron ding leadership with cautious, no? Lead with caution. Leadership style is focused on problem solving and decision making. So in every situation or struggle, very careful siya. Some of these leaders matagal silang mag-decide because they are very careful about the process, about sasabit ba tayo dyan or hindi. So, which leadership style are you? Autocratic ka ba? Visionary? Affiliative? Democratic? Pace setting or coaching? So, you have to understand na as a leader, hindi lang po isang trait meron siya. There are leaders na merong trait sa kanya ganito. He knows when to be dominant, he knows when to be an influencer, he knows when to be a supportive, he knows when to be cautious. In every leadership management that I've been through, maraming styles that you have to mix with. Depende sa sitwasyon po yun. Wala pong one size fits all na leadership pattern. You have to adjust accordingly sa situation. Ganun po nangyari. So si Pete, from time to time, most of the time, dominante yung style ng leadership niya and taking influence leadership into account, no? Pero yung supportive, lead with support is something na parang hindi masyadong nakikita sa kanya. Kasi kung andun yung leadership with support niya, nung binigyan ng yung Davao sa June, dapat prior to that, he could have picked up the phone and follow up. Ano nangyari? Anong problema? Bakit hindi na comply? I'm supporting you by one. Anong problema? Do you want me to draft the letter for you? Parang ganun, going the extra mile of leadership, no, is something that's very important. So, leadership by support, parang he assumed that, okay, alam na ng mga taong gagawin na to, so sila nang bahala. But we didn't see that happen. So, which is something that the Davao region demanded the Supreme Minister as well. Na instead, dapat nagsuporta ang taka sa mua. So, that's one thing that they asked. Last thing, before I close this video, makita natin dito ang different categories of leadership, no? Na strength, under stress, and self-actualization. So, as a leader, makita natin dito, asserter, affirmer, achiever ka ba? So, bawat style ng leadership, meron silang strength, meron silang weaknesses. Kung under stress, anong ginagawa nila? So, yung skills ng good leadership must be strategical thinking, planning and delivery, people management, change management, communication, persuasion, and influence. So, good leader will be able to balance all of these things. So, this is something that we are looking sa Supreme Minister natin, no? So, I hope this video has been informative enough. Check out the next video after this. Pagpatuloy po natin kung ano po yung mangyayari, no? So nakita natin dito, umalma ang Davao team at nagpadala ng sulat kay SM. Nako, umalma ang Davao sa desisyon ng SM, no? Pati naglabas na rin ng side si Emmy sa isa sa Davao organizer. So pagpatuloy po natin yan in the next video. Thank you for tuning in and keep listening para ma-aware ka sa situation na nangyari, no? So have a great day. I'll see you on the next video.